A black woman in a sleek business suit walks confidently down a busy city street. Her sharp gaze scans her surroundings as she clutches a leather briefcase in one hand. The world sees her as just another professional on her way to an important meeting, but beneath her poised exterior lies a secret. She is a highly trained CIA agent, operating under deep cover. If you're interested in stories that challenge power, expose injustice, and educate on real-world issues, make sure to subscribe and follow for more thought-provoking content. As she approaches a crosswalk, the blaring sound of a police siren disrupts the flow of traffic. A patrol car pulls up beside her, and a white police officer steps out, his posture exuding unwarranted authority. His name tag gleams under the afternoon sun, but the woman doesn't need to read it. She's encountered men like him before. He eyes her with suspicion, as if her very presence is a crime. I need to see some ID, he says, his tone flat yet commanding. She raises a neatly arched eyebrow. On what grounds, officer? His eyes flick to her attire, lingering a second too long on the hem of her skirt. You fit a description, he states vaguely, shifting uncomfortably when she doesn't immediately comply. She exhales slowly, reaching into her bag not for her wallet, but for something far more powerful. She moves deliberately, her fingers brushing past her credentials without revealing them just yet. Instead, she pulls out her phone and presses record, her calm expression betraying none of the sharp calculations running through her mind. You're recording me? The officer scoffs, shifting his weight. Standard protocol when interactions feel irregular, she says smoothly. Now, again, on what grounds are you stopping me? The officer's jaw tightens. Like I said, you fit the description of a suspect. A suspect wearing a business suit and heels, she counters, tilting her head slightly. His confidence wavers, but he doubles down. Step over here, I need to conduct a search. She doesn't resist as he steps closer, but the moment his fingers graze the hem of her skirt under the pretense of a pat-down, her demeanor shifts. Her grip tightens around her phone, but she doesn't move yet. Instead, she meets his gaze, watching for that flicker of arrogance, that unspoken belief that he is untouchable. Careful, officer, she says, her voice lower now. You have no idea who you just put your hands on. His laugh is short and dismissive. Oh yeah. And who exactly are you? She finally retrieves the slim black leather wallet from her bag and flips it open. The golden CIA badge catches the sunlight, gleaming like a blade. The officer blinks. His smirk falters. Now, she continues, her voice cold and steady, let's talk about unlawful stops, abuse of power, and exactly how many federal violations you just committed in the last 60 seconds. If you believe in holding power accountable and standing up against injustice, subscribe and follow for more eye-opening stories. The officer takes a step back, his face paling as reality sinks in. His once assured stance shifts into uncertainty, his grip tightening on his belt as if it could anchor him. The arrogance in his smirk is gone, replaced by the slow realization that he has made a grave mistake. Look, he starts, his tone suddenly less aggressive, more measured. Maybe we got off on the wrong foot. She cuts him off with a slight raise of her hand. Officer, I need your badge number. Her voice remains even, unwavering. And the name of your superior. His throat bobs as he swallows. I don't think that's necessary. She raises an eyebrow, tilting her phone toward him, where the red recording indicator is still blinking. It is. And if you refuse, Internal Affairs will subpoena it along with this footage. Your choice. His eyes flick around, scanning for witnesses, backup, and escape anything. The street remains busy, but no one has intervened. Not yet. She watches as his confidence fully unravels, a man suddenly aware that he is standing at the edge of a career-ending precipice. Then, as if clinging to the last shred of his authority, he exhales sharply and straightens his shoulders. "I was just doing my job," he mutters. Routine stop. Routine stops don't involve unlawful searches. And they certainly don't involve unwarranted physical contact, she replies, her voice clipped. "But you already knew that." For the first time, his silence isn't out of arrogance, it's out of fear. She holds his gaze for a moment longer, then taps her screen, ending the recording. "We'll be in touch," she says simply, slipping her phone back into her bag. And with that, she turns on her heel and walks away, leaving him standing there, his authority shattered. The officer remains frozen, watching as she disappears into the crowd. His hands clench into fists at his sides, but he doesn't dare follow. He knows it's over. The weight of his actions, his unchecked arrogance, his abuse of power now sits heavy on his chest. Meanwhile, the woman walks with steady, measured steps, her mind already moving to the next phase. The footage is secure. A formal complaint will be filed. Internal Affairs will review it, and if history has taught her anything, this officer will either be reprimanded or forced out entirely. Either way, justice will take its course. She doesn't turn back. She doesn't need to. This isn't just about one corrupt officer. It's about the system that allows them to thrive. And as long as people like him exist, she will be there watching, recording, holding them accountable. Because power is only dangerous when left unchecked. And today, she reminded him that no one is untouchable. If you believe in exposing injustice and standing up for what's right, subscribe and follow for more eye-opening stories that challenge the status quo.